Confession. I have not seen Scott Cooper's most successful film, Crazy Heart. That's the movie that won Jeff Bridges an Oscar for Best Actor, and I've heard it's fantastic. I have not seen it. I have seen his movie Black Mass, and I have seen his latest movie, The Pale Blue Eye, which is a Netflix exclusive. So, um, based on the body of work that I've seen so far, I kind of have mixed feelings about the guy. I liked Black Mass. What I remember of it, I enjoyed. It wasn't like a super memorable crime thriller like The Departed, but it was good enough, and I enjoyed watching it. So The Pale Blue Eye is basically a Netflix exclusive, uh, like whodunit murder mystery, and let's talk about it. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, red subscribe button, notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new piece of content. Okay, so Netflix exclusive whodunit murder mystery featuring Christian Bale and Harry Melling, who you would probably recognize as Dudley Dursley from the Harry Potter series. Yeah, Bale plays a like kind of down on your luck detective for some very personal reasons. He's going through some stuff, and he is summoned to West Point to investigate a murder. A cadet is found hung by the neck until dead, and he's tasked with figuring out who killed this kid. And he ends up teaming up with a young Edgar Allan Poe, the famous poet, to help investigate this mystery. And it's based on a book. I haven't read the book, but this movie is like a serviceable genre film that I liked, but I didn't love. Here's what I liked. Bale is good in everything. Yeah, actually, Bale's great in everything, and he's good here. He's not great here. This isn't Ford versus Ferrari. This isn't like one of his, most incredible like Christian Bale dive headfirst into a performances. It's just not. This seems like one he just kind of is in. He doesn't like dominate the movie like he tends to dominate other films that he does. Melling's character is just kind of there, and I'm not really all that interested in poetry. I like some of Poe's work, but none of that's really here. He's just there to kind of be. He's actually a really really important part of the story, but like he could just be any other guy. Like the fact that he's Edgar Allan Poe isn't really that relevant to the story, at least in my opinion. So. I like the movie has like a really cool way it's filmed. It's got a really cool sense of style and cinematography. And overall, I really did like the story. I liked the twist at the end, but I have to get into that because that's also a negative for me. What I didn't like, the twist at the end is just like it's all done through dialogue, and this is a classic case of show don't tell. And when your twist is just characters explaining things happening to you, that's not compelling at all. Like you have to show me the twist, you know? And it sort of dives into that a little bit, but it's mostly just like narration and characters talking to each other about what the plot twist is. And and it's really a letdown because this is also a movie that feels like it's building and building and building to something, and then it doesn't really have the crescendo that I felt like it deserved. It gets a little bonkers. It gets a little weird at the end. It actually gets a really, really weird at the end, which I dig. I dig that kind of stuff in these types of films. But it also has just this very like flat and bland pacing, which doesn't do it any favors. You can pull this off in movies, but when things have to escalate and you have to have the rising action and the climax and the falling action, like you have to have exposition. You have to have a story, and this movie tends to just be kind of one note throughout. And there's like one or two scenes where it's not. There's one or two scenes where things get weird, and then it's just kind of back to okay, we're just kind of sitting around talking about stuff. and that doesn't do the movies any that doesn't do the movie any favors, because it does have a lot going for it in terms of the overall like the story itself, but the way it's told is just not that great. So I think I liked The Pale Blue Eye more than most people will, but I certainly didn't love it. This isn't like an amazing thriller. It's not a great movie, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. That's the highest praise I'm going to give The Pale Blue Eye. So, I kind of want to go back and watch some of Scott Cooper's other stuff. I want to go back and watch Antlers, and I want to watch Crazy Heart. But this movie is just kind of there. So it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. I thought it was worth it. These are the kind of movies I come to Netflix for. Like, this is the kind of stuff I want to watch on Netflix. So I think Netflix can also do better, and they certainly have. But this is the kind of stuff I watch on Netflix. So thank you so much for checking out the video. If you liked it, if you found it helpful, consider subscribing. You'd also like and share the video. That tells the powers that be that's worth promoting. And hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think of this movie, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.